Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Callie, and today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. So, Sarah and I ended up getting tickets to RomanceCon in Milwaukee later this fall. So, I know that seems very, very far away, like 6-ish months away, but I am a prepper. I love to prepare, make lists, do everything. So I want to go through how now that we've gotten the tickets and the author list is constantly being updated for this convention. Tickets are still available for this convention if you are interested. And in the Midwest area, it's going to be happening in Milwaukee, weekend after Labor Day. It's actually the weekend of right after my birthday, which is very exciting. I think it's September 6th, that Friday to Sunday, I believe. So we got the just general tickets for the signing and all the panels, which is really exciting. And like I said, they keep updating their author list, which is also really fun. We were already kind of sold on the author list when we saw it pop up. But with that, I have been just generally preparing and making lists for the convention. So what's really nice about this convention being in Milwaukee, Sarah and I live near Milwaukee, so we don't have to worry about booking a hotel or dealing with transportation. Really the only thing that we're gonna do is buy parking passes for those 2 or 3 days. What's also really nice about that is we don't have to worry about doing carry-on or checked luggage like we did for a Polycon the 2 times we've gone there. So we really aren't limited in how many books we have to bring. Really the only limit is going to be how many books each author is going to sign, which according to the Q&A on the RomanceCon website is going to be determined by the authors themselves. So I'm sure as we get closer, we'll get more details as to that. Now, besides making a list and my lovely reading Excel sheet that I have, which I do have, I've labeled which books that I own by the authors that are coming to the convention as of right now. I'll obviously add to it later. I've also added a column where if I've read it, if I'm bringing it, if it's already signed, there's kind of no point in bringing it. Except for maybe to get personalized if I don't already have it personalized. Also, I have them separated out by author, and then I also have a pre-order question mark column. So in case I want to pre-order stuff, which I probably will end up doing a bunch of pre-orders, or just in the next couple of months, collect the books that I want to get signed by the authors that are attending. So I do already have a fair amount of books by the authors coming, and what I have done as a preliminary run through, I did this for a Polycon as well. I put a sticky note into the book. So I'm a very visual person, so I can visually see what books I need for the convention, and they're pretty good to go. So what I'll end up doing closer to the convention is I'll take off dust jackets as needed, just so they don't get ruined in transport and lugging them around all day on a convention floor. I have found that that's a lot easier. Also saves space. Learned that at a Polycon when the first year we packed all of our books with dust jackets, took them off at the hotel, saw how much space we had once we took them off. So the second at Polycon, we ended up taking them all off before we went. So I'll end up taking these off. These are also really good to keep in because what you'll end up doing is you will move this sticky note to the main page that the author will sign, and you'll just have their name so they can immediately see your name, how it's spelled correctly, and can go. It makes the process really quick for the line, and you can kind of spend a little bit more time chatting depending on the line. So that is what I've done so far with all the books that I do own, as well as prioritize them. So my goal is to read at least one book that I have not read by one of the authors that I have tabbed for the convention, and then one ebook version of a new author I've never tried. So there are a lot of Kindle authors. I've already started to do this. There's also a couple of arcs. I've read one arc already by an author coming to the convention. That was my new one. Ended up not liking it. So, which I'll probably talk about that one in my wrap up. But I've signed up to do a couple of more. Sarah and I are also prioritizing different arcs that we've gotten. We have a few in common to read coming up for the convention. So that's the preliminary steps that I've taken. What next I'll end up doing besides taking off the dust jackets and continuing to add to my list as more authors come out who are going to this convention is pre-orders. So pre-orders, they have this main website already for RomanceCon, and you can order from there, and some will have the Google Doc fill out sheets thing, Google Forms, that's the word. They'll have that. And I'll fill those out, and then I'll make note because different ones have different pay schedules. So I'll need to know when that money will be taken out, if it'll be taken out immediately. It seems like a majority are doing the storefront, which looks like it is based through an indie store near or is helping host this event. And from tinkering around a little bit with the website, you can choose to have them pre-signed or to just pre-order and they'll already be at the booth. That is the nice thing about pre-orders, is once I do them, then I have a list of everything I've pre-ordered. So what I did at ApollyCon was, ApollyCon had 2 main rooms for signing. I would split up the pre-orders based off of the rooms that the authors were in, which we found out closer to the event. So I don't know if this is going to be a 1-room signing or if there will be multiple. It's at a hotel, I believe, or yeah, some center that hosts conventions. So once I have more information on that, I'll split the pre-orders. I'll also split all the books that I am bringing into those 2 rooms so I know what to bring for each day, because really, my base obviously is ApollyCon. That's the convention I've gone to a couple of times, and that's what my experience is. I'm hoping this one's a little less chaotic. So I don't have to worry about packing. I don't have to worry about transportation. I don't have to worry about carrying things half a mile to the convention center. I just have to park my car. Honestly, the hardest part may end up being is Sarah and I will keep books in our car and then do like a swap. So an hour, and depending on our pre-orders and depending on that is the current thing. But I'll label everything depending on what room and the location of the author, and that way I can then cross off as I get pre-orders and as I get books signed, which is a really good way for me to prepare for a convention. It keeps me organized. It makes sure that I don't miss out on anything I've already paid for, because not only are there going to be a ton of authors there, there's also going to be a ton of vendors there. So there might be stuff I want to pre-order from them. And it's just a lot of the pre-ordering can get a little out of hand because I get excited and I have impulse control problems, but that's besides the point. This at least keeps me honest and makes sure that I'm actually getting what I have paid for in advance, because like I said, this is 6 months in advance and I don't want to forget anything. So most of them would be fine if, you went over and said, hey, I forgot my pre-order, and they'll mail it to you or something to that effect. But I'd rather avoid that conversation and just have everything. So I've got my tabs, I've got the lists. I'll start taking everything out and putting them into bags. That's the next step, is how you're going to carry everything. So I usually carry a backpack and then I'll have several totes to carry everything in. And I will slowly get the totes out as I get the pre-orders. That way it just works out a lot easier. So in the backpack is typically all the books that I have brought, and then the totes will be just where I shove pre-orders. That's typically how I've done it in the past. There's also a good chance that I'll be getting a bunch of totes. I know at ApollyCon, a lot of authors will give totes if you've pre-ordered, or it's part of the swag that's on their table that you can grab. I think I've also bought a couple of totes at the conventions, but lots and lots of totes. I think to ApollyCon last year, I brought 3 or 4, and I ended up coming home with like 7 or 8. So lots and lots of totes. And with ApollyCon, we did end up, because it's 2 days, I was able to split everything up, which was really, really nice. We are debating on getting a cart, one of those just small, foldable little cart things, just to make things easier on our backs and everything and waiting in line, because that backpack got really, really heavy as time went on, because most of my pre-orders last year was in the second day, so my backpack was just so full. I ended up having to ask Sarah and Hannah to help me, because their big day was the day before, so they didn't have as much on the second day as I did. But it's going to make traveling's definitely going to be easier, as well as just straight up transporting books from place A to place B. And not having to pay for a hotel is really nice. I'm really excited about the fact that I can just come home and then go back the next day. And so I think for the majority, we're just going to be paying for parking ticket for the 2 days, and then the tickets themselves, which were relatively inexpensive for a convention of what this size is going to be. It seems very ApollyCon sized. It's a lot of new authors that we haven't seen before or heard from, so I've done a ton of research. I'm still doing a ton of research onto these authors. I started following a couple on social media and doing stuff that way. But that's what I've done so far, and I'm definitely going to kind of make this, I don't want to say like a series, but update as we get closer, show off how everything's organized, especially, and we'll probably end up doing a vlog of the convention itself because we did the ApollyCon vlog, which was a lot of fun. And I just think this one's got a lot of really good panels. It's got just a lot of really fun. It's got like a masquerade ball. There's like a meet and greet, a ton of stuff to be really excited for. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for today's video. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if you're coming to this convention. We'd love to do a meetup, whether it's coffee, lunch, something. We love talking to new people, and you meet a ton of really fun bookish people at these kind of conventions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!